Hey guys, welcome back to Amber Reviews, and today we're gonna try to do a LED kind of light strip install on the Tesla Frunk. So I got a 2022 Model 3 here. As you're probably aware, there's only kind of like one light here. You can kind of see my hand kind of glowing. I don't use the Frunk very often, but I do love the kind of halo kind of glow that you get in the Frunk with this install. So I purchased mine on eBay after seeing some videos of other people doing it. So I don't know how this is gonna go. I've seen kind of two ways. So one is like actual physical wires where you kind of plug it together, and then I found this one which is kind of these cables that allow to almost plug in and play. So why don't I just do a quick unboxing first. This is what it looks like. It just says LED sequential winker tape light. Not too sure. There's a lot of Japanese writing here. Could try to read it, but it's really testing my my knowledge on Japanese characters again. On this side it says it's a white light, and on the back has some instructions on not instructions, it's just actually descriptions about the light itself. So that's pretty much it. So in the box it kind of caters for various models of Tesla. So you got the 2021 Model 3 or Y, so that's the one we're going to be using. Put this aside. It's got the 2018 to 2020 Model 3, which I'll put this aside. It's also got the Model S and Model X, which I'll put this aside. So as you can kind of see, it was all plug in and play. So very similar to a lot of other installs in Tesla. So one end will plug here, one end will plug here, one end it just pretty much splits it, right? And on this side is the cable. So I'm assuming we have to install it the kind of LED side down, the white side up. It should just run within this kind of seal down the edge side of the car and plug it and play, and that's pretty much it. So I think the first thing we need to do, I'm going off memory from watching other videos of people doing this, is essentially pop this out. I heard you just lift and it just pulls out, which pretty much it did. That was relatively easy. I was surprised that I didn't have to use any kind of prying tools, which is good. And then you got a clip here, which just wondering if there is anything to push. I'm gonna try to run this first, and then I'll work out that light piece a bit later. I'm gonna work out how to pull that plug out. But essentially, like I said, the LED bit, bring it closer, is this part here down, and then this is more white on this side. Feed this through. I'm gonna leave some space for this, so that you can kind of go back inside here. Maybe more that red tape is. It's relatively easy. Like if you've done any other installs on the Teslas, you pretty much just lift the cylinder. This one's a lot easier than all the stuff inside the car, especially when you're trying to hide cabling for the external speedometers and so forth. One thing I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to try to tuck it back up a bit higher, just so we see less of that white bit. And I can kind of see how this might work, because what's going to happen is once I turn on the light, it's going to shine down. There's actually a gap between the seal and the plastic, so you can kind of see it dispersing and then hence causing that halo effect. Right, so what I've found is that it did go a bit longer. I've doubled down on this side, so there's a bit of overlap around this much in this product, and I'll link that product at the end of the video so you can kind of see it. But yeah, that was relatively easy. Like there's a section here which doesn't seem to go all the way up, but it's not too bad. I can leave a little bit of white lining around some of these edges. Well, it's physically impossible to shop any further. Alright, let's try to work this out. Alright, so that took a while to get off, but I'm gonna try explaining. You can see that hole there. That was essentially plugged in, and you can see that little bit was slotted, and that's how it wedged it. I needed like a really tiny screwdriver bit to push down on here, then I can pull it out. And it made it easier for me to, so the panel was in like this, and that's where the light was. I just pushed the light forward so it came out back out. So we got this Y part of the cable. I think the white bit goes in the white bit. Yep, so that was relatively easy. I believe the existing piece that went to the back of the light goes in this. Yep, you already can see the lighting, and then the remaining piece goes back to where the other piece was. Yep, perfect. Well done. That was relatively simple. Cool. So I guess we just have to hide this inside here. We push this one through like that, and then we push back on it. Test is working. Doesn't seem to allow that emergency release noise that I was hearing before, which is a bit concerning. Wonder will this lock my frunk? Now that I'm a bit concerned. And just literally pop that back down. That's it. I'm very cautious of trying to lock this until we get that button working for some reason. Anyway, let's try to sort that out first. What I also did was I found it was a bit long, so like I said before, it was overlapping this much. I thought it was going to be okay. You can start getting a bit bulky here, which wasn't very nice. So just snip, and pretty much that's it. And it just kept working, so it's a lot better. Other than that, I'll take you through a quick close look of what this looks like. You can see a bit of cabling coming out. I think there was no way to kind of prevent that from happening. But light's pretty nice. If you get low enough, it's hard because it's on now. Yeah, looks pretty good. To walk around the other side. I think it looks pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that. So I guess the next part is really just closing this frunk and hoping it opens. All right, I guess you all be part of my journey on that one. All right, so I had a go. I don't know, the button just stopped working. So I guess the only way to find out is me closing this, and hopefully there's an emergency frunk release, if that's the worst kind of case scenario. Because I'm using my phone I can't pop the frunk, so I'm just going to get in the car. Success, guys! It popped open. Very, very excited. And hopefully the light, yeah. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. It looks very, very simple install for something that I had very little skill set and very little knowledge. I'm still a bit frustrated that this button doesn't work, but I'm I don't even understand what the button's for. They say that if you're ever kind of trapped from the inside, you press it, but who's fitting in this frunk? Anyway, until then, thank you for joining me on Amber Reviews and one of my first kind of live installs. I hope that was useful. Feel free to put any questions in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer them. I did find, using kind of that Y cable connectors so much easier than trying to, plug in wires and screw them together. I'm just not that confident around that kind of process. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in, guys.